Hello there, welcome to my studio with a view. Today I'm just going to show you a really quick tutorial on how to make a gift card holder. This seems to be a really common thing around my household. My children are getting to an age where that seems to be what they like to give their friends for their birthday, so we kind of wanted to have a unique way to present them with a gift card. So this is a little better than just throwing it in a card. It makes it a little bit more personal and a little bit nicer looking. So we'll get started. You simply need some patterned cardstock, or just regular cardstock is fine too. We kind of vary it up a little bit depending on who we're giving it to. I like to use some regular cardstock inside just so that we can write a sentiment inside there. But we'll start first with one piece of paper, and this paper is 4 1/4 inches this way by 10 inches across. And the first thing we need to do is we have to score it up a little bit so that the folds are nice. You can use whatever you like. I have a Score Pal. Some people have a Score Buddy, or you can simply also use your paper cutter that has a scoring blade in it. This one I just have a cutting blade in it. So today I'm just going to use the Score Pal. So your sheet that's 4 1/4 by 10 inches, we're going to put some score marks at 3 inches, at 4 inches, at 5 inches, and at 8 inches. Okay, and I'm going to put the directions underneath in the blog, in the video description. I'm also going to put them on my blog at mystudioWithAView.blogspot.ca, and I'm going to probably put it there as a PDF so you can download the dimensions for this. So I just quite simply did the scoring on this piece. Then you're going to need some other pieces of cardstock. You're going to need 4 pieces of cardstock that are 2 3/4 inches by 4 inches. You're going to need 4 of those, and in this case I used 2 patterned and 2 plain cardstock. You're going to need 2 small pieces that are 1 3/4 by 4 inches. Oh, I've got this one here together. 1 3/4 by 4. And then the last piece you're going to need is the band that's going to go around your card holder, and it's going to be 1 inch by 7 inches. And I have to mention that I first saw this idea on Cards TV with Mary, and I thought it was so great. I've made so many of them and done them different ways, just adding personalization, and it's really cool and it's really simple. So we'll just get started with the assembling part of it. So the folding part, you also have to be aware of what you're doing, because what we want to do is we're basically making a little mountain, I like to call it, that we're going to put the gift card inside of. So if you kind of keep that in mind when you're doing your folding, it becomes a little bit easier to remember the way that you have to fold it. So I like to make my little mountain this way, and this is going to go upwards, and you'll see what I mean once I have the folding done. Alright, so there's my folding. And here's my little mountain that I made, and it's just going to fold together because my gift card is going to be held right in this little slot right here. Now there's no slot there right now, but we're going to make that. So once I have it folded like this, and just give it a little test to make sure that it fits. And actually in this case I'm finding that this one's a little bit too long on that side, so I'm just going to trim it up. And it's best to do this before you put it together, otherwise you're going to do some cutting once you've got all your other cardstock pieces on there. So let's fit this now. I just want to make sure that it folds up really nice before we start putting it together. And it does, it folds up really good. So let's start putting the patterned paper on it. Now, as I said before, you want to make sure if there's a sentiment you want to write on there, you want to do that section of the gift card holder with some plain cardstock. So we'll put the pattern on here, and you can be as accurate as you like. I'm a little bit more free-spirited that way. Alright, so the inside part is right here and here. The gift card is going to sit right there. So my plain pieces I'm going to adhere in there. That in there, the other plain piece, and I just simply inked up the edges of this piece with some ink. I think it always gives it a more finished look if you do that, as opposed to just having a plain piece of cardstock in there. You could also stamp it up with a pattern on there. That would also look nice. I've done that before. So on the outside front, and this paper that I'm using today is the Victory paper pack from Close to My Heart. One of my favorites of the new paper packs. And I think that is because I happen to have 3 sons, and it's a very masculine paper pack. And I'll show you some examples that I did later. So we're just going to cover up each section with the cardstock. And then the back side. I like to not spare no adhesive. Just, you don't want it falling apart when somebody goes to open it up. So, okay. So there we go. Most of it is assembled already. So you see it's very quick and easy to do. We just have to finish up this mountain part. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to use some two-sided tape, double-sided tape. And what you want to do is you want to make sure when you put the tape on that you put it right as close to this edge as possible, because when you fold it together, you want it to be adhered at the bottom of your mountain, the very bottom in the inside, because we're going to just cut the top part here for the card to slide into. So when you put your double-sided tape, go as close to that edge as you can. Now you can also put some tape up these edges. I don't like to do that. I think it's tight enough already just the way that it is. So you can use any double-sided tape there is going to work. Stick it together really good. I like to go the whole length of the way. And then what you're going to have to do is, now where our mountain is assembled, we have to just cut the very top edge off. And you don't need very much off at all. Just the tiniest little bit so that you have an opening there. So you see how much I cut off there? It wasn't much at all, just a very tiny, tiny piece. And then what you've got here is an opening for your gift card to sit into. It's going to be a little snug at first, but really that's all you need. So if you put your gift card in there, and fold it up. And I always like to put a gift card in and fold it up before I assemble the exterior part, the band that's going to hold it together. And the reason I do that is because I've done the band before, and then it won't fit around it once I've got the gift card in there. So you want to make sure that the gift card is in there. Anything else you want to put in there, if you're giving cash in there, put the cash in before you assemble it. Now I like to make sure this isn't very tight, because you want to have a little bit of give for the child or adult to take it on or off. So I make sure there's kind of a little give there. And then on the outside, you want to cover up that seam, and you can do it with a sticker, you can do it with any sort of embellishment. I like to make something that's a little more personalized. In this case, I had an embellishment that went with this paper pack. So, and it's a big piece, and I like that. It says fun has you right in the middle. That's kind of neat. So there's our finished gift card holder. Very nice presentation, and it's kind of fun. So if we just open it up, and there's place in here for you to put a stamp, happy birthday, happy anniversary, and then I'll write a little message in there. And I always let my kids do that by themselves. So you assemble it back up again, put it together, and it's just really a nice way to present a gift card. Now you can vary it up. I have a couple of samples here. In this case, I did one for a little girl. And I didn't put plain paper. I just used patterned cardstock for this one all around, because it's light enough that you could write a sentiment on there. And I rounded the edges with a double scalloped edger. And we also did this one before. This is for a friend of my son's, and we like to personalize it and put names on it when we can. So this one we did that way. And open it up again. This is the Victory paper pack from Close to My Heart. So there's room for the sentiment on there. So I hope this helps. I hope you have a lot of fun with it. There's lots of different ways you can customize it for whoever you're giving it to, and I think it's really super easy, and you can do it in under 10 minutes for sure. So have fun.